Have you ever struggled in your quiet time to connect to the Lord, to not have all the thoughts of the day racing through your head, but instead just to be quiet and to connect with Him? Well, I'm having that trouble today. But in this video, I'm going to talk you through what I have learned to do about it in the 20 odd years that I've been a Christian. Hey there, I'm Lisa Berg from accomplishyourpurpose.com, where we love helping you walk through the everyday practical realities of doing life with Jesus, of hearing Him, of listening to Him, of walking with Him, of loving Him through the good times and the hard times here on earth. So if you're new here, consider liking and subscribing to this channel, and because there's something new every single week. As I said in the intro, it's my quiet time. It's early here in the morning. It's still dark outside, and this is the time that I love to come and connect with the Lord. But if I'm honest, I've been having a little bit of trouble for the last about week or so. And by trouble, I mean I sit and I come and I wake up. So either it's difficult to wake up, I've had lots of dreams, I haven't slept very well, and then when I do wake up, my thoughts are consumed by the to-do list, the things to do today. That I see something, I've just seen a bag with some paintbrushes in it. I'm like, oh yeah, I should paint that and do this and that, right? And your thoughts start going off on a track that's not necessarily thinking about the Lord, right? You're thinking about a to-do list. And sometimes, even sitting down to do this podcast episode, I sat with the Lord yesterday. I said, Lord, what should I talk about? What do people need to hear? What would you like people to hear? And I didn't get anything. And it's so interesting to me that there are times like that. There are times when things come easy, right? With the Lord, you can hear quickly and easy, and there are times when it's difficult. And so in the 20 odd years that I've been a Christian, as I've really hungered for God, as I have wanted to have a deeper relationship with Him, wanted to fall in love with the Bible, reading the Bible even more, deeper prayer life, all of the things that we long for as Christians, right? I've learned that there will be times like this. There will be times when we feel distracted, times when it seems to be difficult to connect with God. And one of the first things that I do is I'll sit and I'll say to the Lord, can you help me understand what's happening? I've learned to stop asking the why question. God, why is this happening? Because for me, that can turn into a frustrated question. God, why is this happening? God, why is this happening? God, why aren't you doing something about it? And I've learned that frustration isn't a helpful place in my life, in my walk with God. It really isn't. When it comes from that place of being mad at Him, right? And so what I do is I'll sit and I'll say to the Lord, can you help me understand what's going on here, right? Can you help me understand what's going on? Because that way I come from a place of curiosity instead of frustration instead. Still asking the same question, but the difference is in my heart posture of, Lord, I know you love me. I know you're here. You never leave me nor forsake me. So the reality of how I feel is not the truth of what's really going on. So can you help me understand? And an interesting thing happens. Sometimes it'll be, Lisa, your to-do list is long, and let's just put the to-do list to the side, right? Let's just say to the to-do list, I'll talk to you later. This is not the time to talk to you about you now. I'm going to talk to you later, right? So sometimes it's actually actively pushing the thoughts away and just letting them know you're going to talk to them later and reconnecting with God. And sometimes that takes a little bit of time, right? You need to just redo it a couple times. Sometimes it's I'll get this little thought from the Holy Spirit and I'll hear music, or I'll see myself walking around with my earphones in, and I go, okay, right, then this moment needs worship to help me to connect with God. This moment needs, I have a worship playlist and just some songs, you can get them on YouTube, and a worship playlist, and I'll put my earphones in and I'll walk around worshiping. Sometimes it's sitting reading the Bible. Sometimes I'll go, okay, what was that story again? Or you sit and read the Bible, and I'll go, Lord, help me understand. And there are some beautiful plans that you can get that'll help you to read through the Bible as well, even about topic specific things. And then sometimes I'll be reading a book. I'll think about a certain topic, like, oh Lord, why is this happening in the world? Why is this happening in the news? Or, Lord, there was a repeated theme about this thing. And I'll think about a book that talks about that, one of the non-fiction books that I read, and I'll sit down and read that for a little bit. Sometimes I see myself praying, or I'll just get this urge to pray, and I have this beautiful prayer that I pray through in the morning. I'm going to take communion for people, and then I'll pray the prayer and I'll take communion. Or sometimes I feel to just walk and talk with the Lord, and physical activity really helps to break us out of our minds just spinning like that. So sometimes I'll get up and I'll walk and I'll pray and I'll talk to him. And even if that is hard, I just start with thanksgiving. Lord, thank you that I can walk. Thank you that I'm alive this morning. Thank you. And what you'll find is the more you say thank you, the more thank yous will come. The more gratitude will grow in your heart. Right? Sometimes I'll feel convicted about things. And this morning I felt convicted. I was like, I felt, and what conviction feels like, it's just this invitation from God to more. You're going, oh yeah, there's something more I could be doing here. And this morning that looked like, at least I want to invite you to pray for other people more. You've been a little self-focused at the moment. And I knew that because my thinking was all about my own to-do list and what I should do and what's next, and And so I realized, my thinking has been a lot about myself. I get to think about others, and that was preceded by the message that we heard at church yesterday. So you see all of these little clues that start to add up. And you go, there's a theme here. God's inviting me to connect with him more. So all of these are little ways that I've learned to, when I feel like I'm struggling to connect to God, I've learned that it can be a variety of things, but my determination is that I'm going to connect to him anyway, right? And so I will sit and I'll ask that question, Lord, can you help me understand what's going on here and what to do about it? And then I just follow those little prompts. And no matter how I feel about my quiet time, I know that I have connected with the Lord because I've engaged with him in the process. Whatever the process is, whatever the circumstances are, I've engaged with him. So I hope this helps you today. When you're struggling to connect to the Lord, to just ask him these questions. Lord, can you help me understand what's going on and what I get to do about it? And follow those little prompts, and he'll lead you through, just like he's leading me through today. So come across and visit us at accomplishyourpurpose.com. These are exactly the kind of things that we love walking with our clients through as well. So this is the adventure that Jesus is inviting you on today. Will you accept? Bless you, bless you, bless you. And I'll see you next time.